What is poppin', fellas? Welcome to week 7 of the MPFL spreads. Getting into the nitty gritty of the season right now. People making trades, solidifying their lineups. We've got bye weeks to deal with. You've got COVID players to deal with. We're trying to separate the pretenders from the contenders. And this week's going to go a long way to doing that. We're going to jump right in to the spreads and the matchups and what to look for. Very briefly, we're going to do a quick recap of last week. It was an intriguing week in the MPFL. Want to congratulate Penn Hebrews getting their first victory, calming down all of that Gase for Coop talk that was going on last week. The team got off the schneid. Now they're ready to lose the rest of their games and solidify the first pick in the draft. Warrior was on the mill. He made an appearance talking about Jabroni Lane, Shuddy Town, all this other shit, and they won. He was putting up his record since 2017, just doing a lot of shit. We still don't believe in this team. However, they won. They're 5-1, and they're making a real push in their division. Hart 6-0, dominating the league as usual. Had a great draft with all the multiple picks that they had, and it's showing. It's paying off. You grab Hunt, you grab this guy, you grab Allen, you grab all these other boys, Connor and stuff, and you have a solid team. We got blown out. Rampage got blown out. Thank God Bermuda lost, and ECP they blew out the slaughterhouse. So it was a crazy week. Last week, Rampage is on a 3-3 losing streak. We're going to talk about them. But this is where the rubber meets the road, friends, where we are separating the contenders and the pretenders as we're moving into the heart of the NFL season. So first game on the slate is none other than Heartbreakers, 7.5 road favorites at the Thunder. And the reason why this is you just have to give credit to Hart. He's 5-1 against the spread. We're 3-3. The team is solid as fuck. Brady's got a blow-up matchup at Vegas. Vegas right now is without half of their secondary. They're without their offensive line. This could get scary. We're hopeful that Ronald Jones is the one that does the work here. But it's a blow-up spot. You're talking about Breeze. We tried to make a play for Bridgewater on the wire. He got scooped up. So we're stuck with Breeze. He's got no Michael Thomas, no Emmanuel Sanders. I don't know who he's going to throw to. Carolina's 4th against quarterbacks this year. So for some reason, this is just not a good look right now for us at the quarterback position. We have not been able to find a suitable replacement for Dak. Hunt at Cincinnati, Gurley at Detroit, Connor at Tennessee. Those are top 10 matchups this week in football. And those are blow-up matchups. All of these running backs could go off for 100, a buck 20, and 2 touchdowns apiece. So from these 3 running backs, he could be looking at anywhere from low point of 4 touchdowns to a high point of 7 touchdowns. So with that alone, it's going to be very difficult for us to spell that. On our side, you've got Carson. Mike Davis has been somebody since CMC's been out. And Drake had a blow-up spot last week. We're hopeful that gets him off the schneid. He blew up against Seattle last year, so he's in. Brown and Adams, of course, top 5 receivers, always top 10 guys. CEH in a revenge game. Aaron Jones, if Aaron Jones was in this game against Texas, this would have been a 17 to a 20-point spread for this team because this team is just so deep and these matchups are just so juicy. But he's not. CEH is at Denver in the snow against one of the top 3 run defenses in the league. We don't know if Bell's going to play, but I don't see CEH getting in the end zone. If he can't get in the end zone when the weather's dry and you're not facing a top 5 run defense, how does he get in there? But it is a revenge game, so we don't know what the fuck's going to happen. Fuller is solid. Kittle is the goods, but, I think Belichick will have something for that ass. Jonnu Smith is all right, and the defenses are solid. So again, this is your game of the week, friends. Get your popcorn ready, but it could get ugly if some of these backs or Hart start getting off early. Moving on to your shit bowl of the week, and that's going to be South Street players at PR. 13.5 road favorites for South Street. 3-3 against the spread. PR is 2-4. Basically, what's happening here, friends, is both teams have mailed it in, right? Both teams have amassed a sick amount of picks for next season. So right now, it's just, who could take the longer slog. But right now, you have to give SSP the advantage in this matchup. Kyler Murray is a keeper for the next 10 years. Kyle has found his next Rodgers. He is just fucking special. Gardner Minshew is trash, just a fill in for Lamar Blackson. David Johnson, it's his last season with SSP, of course. He has been nothing special playing out the string. Zach Moss is trash. He's just in the lineup to have a body. Calvin Ridley is probably a keeper, along with Chase Claypool, who's going to be the next SSP keeper. It looks like Juju Smith-Schuster is expendable with the emergence of Claypool. They're not going to re-sign him. Schuster's has been shit, and Claypool just looks like a dominant fucking receiver. Like a Randy Moss type of guy. To be honest, he's big and he's fast, and he gets in the end zone. He has a nose for the end zone, so you gotta like Claypool a lot. Beasley and Cole, whatever. Cup, Judy, Chenault, and Higgins, middling wide receiver 3 and 4s. You do like Chase Young. He's going up against the third string left tackle for Washington. So if he can't get 2 sacks and 2 forced fumbles this week, he was a waste of a pick in my estimation for the Washington football team. Nothing really much to say. Waller's last game at SSP. This game should be a blowout. Moving on to our next game of the week. This is a big one, friends. Both teams are 3-3. Both teams are in a different trajectories right now. One, of course, is the 2-time champ, Rhode Island Rampage, that's looking to right the ship against an upstart East Coast players. And we have Rhode Island 3-3 against the spread. 7.5-point road favorites at ECP, who is 4-2 against the spreads. The reason why this game is a little bit closer than you would think is my homeboy, he's at Denver, and it's going to snow. So he's not going to get you your customary 350, 3 to 4 touchdowns. He might throw for 260 and 3 touchdowns, maybe 2 touchdowns. Who knows? It's going to be a tough game. We always know Denver plays KC well. So Mahomes may not get you the 40 that the Rampage is accustomed to. ACP has found its franchise quarterback in Justin Herbert. It's new Manning. He looks great. He's in a division where you have to throw to win games. And he's only going to get better. He's got great weapons in Williams, the backs who are there, and Keenan Allen, plus Hunter Henry. So he should be solid for a very, very long time. He may have found his franchise running back, DeAndre Swift. If Patricia could get the fuck out of there and they fire that fat fuck and just let this guy play, because Bevel has a hard-on for Peterson. I actually think there's a sexual relationship going on, fellatio before the game between Bevel and Peterson, because they just run 39-year-old Adrian Peterson like he's somebody still. Like, I don't understand it. But, that's why they pick 1-2 every year, I guess, Detroit, in the draft. But Swift, you saw, with 15 to 18 carries, you saw what you get. You saw. Proof is in the pudding, friends. Now, our big concern here is with Ezekiel Elliott B. He's always, look at rankings. He's always in the top 3, top 5 every week. But why? Why? He's fumbling like a little fuck, right? The offensive line is completely destroyed, right? I'd rather have the Jets offensive line than the Dallas offensive line right now. Connor Williams is the only remaining offensive lineman who's there. And PFF, Pro Football Focus, had him ranked as like the 72nd guard in the league. So he's trash, right? Washington still has a great front 4. Stack the box, make Dalton beat them. I don't think Elliott's getting off here at all, right? And all these pundits that have Elliott, really, really high in these rankings, he shouldn't. He should be like the 9th or 8th ranked back this week if he's lucky, right? Godwin is solid. He wants to show them what he's got before AB gets there. Bernard is solid. I'd rather have Bernard than Elliott this week, to be honest. Kamara is the best of the best. And Gibson, again, is going to in a blow-up spot against a Dallas defense that's giving up the most points and yards ever in the history of the NFL in the first 6 weeks. So go figure. Dallas is shit, man. Metcalf is great. Cooks, you know what it is with Cooks, man. He gets you 140 and 2 touchdowns one week, or he'll get you 24 yards and a pulled hammy or a concussion by the second quarter. So you really don't know what you're going to get. He's the epitome of a box of chocolates, right? Robbie Anderson is good. Mike Williams for the double up. Herbert likes to throw there. Hurst should get in the end zone, and the defenses are solid. Garrett and JPP could blow up. Garrett against Cincinnati B. 2 sacks, 4 tackles, 2 forced fumbles, fumble recovery, 28 points, game over. That could happen. Garrett is the best defensive lineman in the league. Again, this is a great week. Last thing we'll say, Blake Martinez did his thing. He got 8 points. He had 8 at the half. So the fact that he finished the game with 8 was astonishing for ECP. I know he was jerking off about it the next day when we spoke to him. But this is the next excellent game, second game of the week. Get your popcorn ready, enjoy. Another shitball 2 is Penn visiting New York Slaughterhouse. Now, Slaughterhouse 3.5 home favorites, 4-2 against the spread. Penn is 2-4 against the spread. Look, Rodgers is going to match what Wentz did, if not better. Clement got nothing. Benny Sell will get nothing, so they're going to match each other as well. We like, Slaughterhouse slightly in this game. He's got more guile. He's got Evans and Jones, who are two big dick players. Really, when Penn's trotting out Kirk, Laundry, Boyd, and Moore, those are middling wide receiver 4 type players. The problem with New Slaughterhouse is that they have issues with the bye week this week and with COVID. Sanders is on the COVID list. Scantling. Right now, he's going to have to fish the wire to play somebody because everybody else that he could potentially put in his lineup for Sanders is out. So he's going to have to waive somebody, and put in somebody for Sanders. Again, the defenses, they're middling defenses, nothing to write home about. But right now, this is where we are. You've got 3.5 home favorite, New York Slaughterhouse. Moving on, Bristol, Jabroni Lane, fellas. This dude talking shit, 5-1 in the division. Both teams are making the playoff push. Bermuda suffered a really bad loss last week, an embarrassing loss, to Penn. Obviously they needed to beat those teams in order to get into the playoffs. They would have been tied for first place in the division. Thank you, Penn. We thank you very much to you. But this game is a blowout, friends. This game is 13.5 Bermuda, 2-4 against the spread. Warriors 4-2. We know we disrespect the Warrior a lot, but they only got 7 from 2 guys on Thursday night. Hopkins is hurt. Michael Thomas is out. He's played 1 game this entire year. You got to give credit to Bristol to finding a way to win without Michael Thomas all this time. Lockett is offset by Wilson. Wilson should do a little bit better than Watson. Montgomery's trash. Ronald Jones against Vegas is a blow-up spot. Tyreek Hill, Lindsey's in there. Aguilar was going to get burned because they're going to be playing from behind. And McLaurin has a top 5 wide receiver matchup this week. And it looks like Khalil Mack has become a QAnon member himself. So, again, friends, we just think that Bermuda is really going to put the wood to this team this week. We think that this is the beginning of the demise of the Warrior. Now, we know we've been talking about that for a while. We're not trying to hate. We're just trying to objectively look at this squad, and we cannot fathom how they're winning games. If they win this week, then I'm a believer. There's some kind of magic going on, some kind of, Warrior voodoo. But if they pull off this victory this week, then we just don't know football, friends. Like, I can't look at these matchups and say to myself that this guy's going to win this game. Finally, we're moving on to another really important game this week because Armada is trying to make a push, and they've been the most unlucky team in the league, right? They're 2-3. They're 2-4. They should be 4-2, but they've played teams that have put up 120, 130 on them. Most points scored against. But they have a really solid team. And right now, they're 6.5 home favorites at 2-4 against the spread against Bergen, who's 3-3 against the spread. Now, reason why the spread is like this is Josh Allen, when you look to get right, and you haven't been right for a couple days, you visit the New York Jets, B. They're fucking trash. Gase is trash. The GM is trash. The owner is a fucking idiot, right? The players have given up on this team. The offense is horrible. The defense is they don't care. They don't care. They're going to get destroyed here by Buffalo, especially after Buffalo's lost 2 in a row. They need to get right. Buffalo knows they need to get right. They got New England on the schedule in the next week or 2. They got to get right. Now, we've never seen a relationship between a team and a quarterback like we've seen here with Bergen and Jimmy Pornstar Garoppolo. He drafted him, then he waived him, then he picked him up, then I think he waived him again, then he picked him up. Now he's light and plugged him like he's somebody. And he's going up against Bill Belichick at New England. You know Belichick knows them and is going to have something for that ass. So that's not really a good matchup when you have Garoppolo against Josh Allen. Henry going up against the best defense in the league in Pittsburgh, best run defense. So he's not going to get you 220 and 2 touchdowns this week. He'll be solid, but he ain't going to be blown up. Jacobs has a tough matchup. We like Jackson. We don't like Henderson. We don't like Cooper, but we love Diggs. Juju Smith-Schuster's trash, but we love Chark and Galladay this week. Hunter Henry has a good week on the horizon. And look, Penn had some. Puerto Rico has some magic on Thursday night. You know, Bart Scott scored. I don't know his first name, but I'm gonna call him Bart. He scored on the second, the last drive of the game on a crazy wheel route. Brandon Graham was plugged in like he was somebody at the last minute, and on the last play of the game, friends, he got a strip sack, which gave this guy 8 points to add to his 3 tolos for 11. Those 8 points are going to come in big here, and that's going to rule the day. So we like Puerto Rico Armada to win this week. And that is it, friends, for the games. There are a couple of big games in the NFL, big games in the MPFL. It's going to be a solid week. Again, we're trying to see who the contenders are and who the pretenders are. We want to wish everybody well, enjoy the games, and we will talk to you next week. Peace.